Welcome to 7 Recaps. Before we start, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me keep creating content that benefits you, and it also signals to the platform that this information is worth sharing. So, can I count on your support? Let's get started. On a particular night near the small Irish island of Arran, an object resembling a flare illuminates the dark sky. The crew aboard the nearby fishing trawler, Sea Harvester, reaches out to the Coast Guard, only to be informed that no distress signals have been reported. Intrigued, the sailors decide to investigate the location where the mysterious object descended. One by one, they venture onto the deck and subsequently vanish into the water. The following day, Officer Sharon O'Shea awakens with a severe hangover, coinciding with the arrival of Dublin Police Officer Lisa Nolan on the island. She appreciates the serene beauty of the island, where she believes that no significant troubles are likely to occur. Kieran offers her a ride in his vehicle, and Lisa quickly observes the disheveled state of her new partner. He drives her to their place of work. Meanwhile, Dr. Gleason makes a grim discovery of dead whales along the shore, each bearing horrific injuries. Lisa is introduced to her new colleagues, although Kieran expresses surprise at her presence. Nevertheless, they must adhere to their orders. Concurrently, fisherman Paddy Barrett encounters an unusual creature with blue tentacles in his lobster trap, which ejects a noxious liquid onto Paddy's associate, Murphy. The fishermen are bewildered, having never encountered such a being before. Simultaneously, the police are summoned to the shore by Dr. Gleason, where they meet marine ecologist Adam Smith. He clarifies that while it is not uncommon for sea creatures to wash ashore, the injuries observed on their bodies were sustained in the ocean, not from collisions with rocks. Paddy takes the captured creature home and places it in his bathtub. Kieran arranges for the transportation of the whale carcass to the laboratory for Smith's examination. As the workers are getting ready to leave the beach, one of them notices a peculiar round object in the sand that looks like an egg from an unfamiliar creature. He digs it up, only to be suddenly attacked by a mysterious being that pulls him into the ocean. His boss later goes searching for him, but comes up empty-handed. Meanwhile, Kieran and Paddy are at a bar in the local hotel, listening to reports about a fishing schooner crew that vanished the night before. Paddy shares a story with a police officer about a sea monster he caught earlier that day, but Kieran dismisses it and heads home. At that moment, Murphy hears a knock at his door and goes to see who it is at such a late hour. He finds fisherman Cooney acting oddly, almost as if he's inviting Murphy to dance. When Murphy steps outside, he is suddenly yanked up onto the roof of the house. His wife tries to hide inside, but before she can secure the chimney, something pulls her up through it. Meanwhile, Kieran knocks on Lisa's door. She quickly realizes he is extremely drunk and suggests he should finish the night at home. She finds it strange that he drinks daily, while not understanding how someone can completely abstain. When Lisa tells him it's time for bed, Kieran passes out. Back at home, Paddy enters the bathroom, expecting to find the creature he caught, but instead discovers an egg. He looks around and notices some foul-smelling slime on the wall. Suddenly, tentacles from an unknown creature drop down from the ceiling. One of them grabs Paddy, and the monster attacks him, but the fisherman manages to rip off the suckers and ultimately defeats the creature. The next morning, the hotel owner advises Lisa to keep an eye on Kieran. The man, a widower, struggles to move on from the memory of his late wife, which drives him to drink. However, Lisa may have the opportunity to help him find a better path. She makes her way to the station where she had left Kieran the night before, as she was unaware of his address and unable to accompany him home. At that moment, she receives a call from Paddy, who wishes to claim a reward for the creature he killed and brought to Smith's laboratory earlier that morning. The fisherman refers to the creature as a grabber, but the scientist disputes this designation, arguing that the name should accurately represent the species. Smith is unfamiliar with the creature, having never encountered anything like it before, and he is uncertain whether it is even deceased. He demonstrates the creature's tongue, which extends like that of a frog and is perforated with holes through which it extracts blood, reminiscent of rare deep-sea vampire squids. However, this creature appears to be of an extraterrestrial nature. Smith reveals that its skin emits a glow when the slime is removed and asserts that the organism requires blood and water for survival. Paddy immediately inquires whether this extraordinary specimen could be sold on eBay, but Smith sternly prohibits him from considering such an idea. It is later discovered that the specimen is a pregnant female, as indicated by the presence of an egg. Subsequently, Kieran proposes that the creature may be linked to the recent whale deaths, but Lisa expresses skepticism, noting that the creature is significantly smaller than the deceased whales. Sometime later, Kieran and Lisa locate Cooney's vehicle near Murphy's residence, where they observe unusual debris on the roof. Lisa ascends to investigate and uncovers remnants of the dress worn by the woman who died the previous night. As she tugs at the fabric, a spherical object is dislodged from the chimney, striking Kieran on the head. He cries out in pain but falls silent upon realizing that it is Murphy's head that has landed before him. The doctor, who is presented with this horrific discovery by the police, is at a loss to determine who could have committed such an atrocity. Their discussion is interrupted by Paddy's arrival, who leads the police to his home, revealing the damaged wall and the bathtub that has been placed on the lawn. Kieran then lays out a map, marking the locations of the various incidents. All entities are situated within the same bay, indicating the presence of a male creature in the vicinity. Paddy recalls the dark rocks that conceal a cave, prompting the team to head in that direction. Upon entering the cave, Kieran and Lisa soon discover a fishing vest, while Paddy uncovers several eggs nestled in the sand, poised to hatch. As they explore the cave, Kieran's shout startles Lisa. In an instant, a massive alien squid emerges before them, prompting the police to flee, taking Paddy with them. Subsequently, they attempt to call for assistance, but their concerns are only taken seriously when Lisa corroborates the threat. They hasten to the laboratory, where Smith has deduced that the whales served as prey for these creatures. Kieran douses the remains of the female with a flammable substance, convinced that the male will be drawn to her. He ignites the body, but the sprinkler system promptly activates, extinguishing the flames. The sudden temperature shift revives the deceased female. Smith equips himself with a chair, Lisa takes a knife, and Kieran wields a rolled-up magazine. Despite their preparations, they are caught off guard by the assault. The alien squid ensnares Kieran's head with its tentacles, but Smith and Lisa manage to pry the creature away, resulting in it expelling human blood before collapsing lifelessly. The group ensures its demise, although Smith expresses regret over the missed opportunity for a significant discovery. Lisa then questions what the newly hatched creatures will consume if the surrounding whales have been depleted. At that moment, Paddy re-enters the lab, and everyone is astonished by his survival against the monster. He attributes it to his diet, but Kieran suddenly realizes that Paddy had been intoxicated. The creatures are blood feeders, and it appears that alcohol induces an allergic reaction in them, suggesting that the group only needs to endure one night on the island. Assistance is expected to arrive the following day, and the creatures will be eradicated with a bomb. Kieran proposes gathering everyone at the bar for a large drinking celebration. The bar owner, Brian, is informed by the group about their experiences and shown a sample of the creature. Although he harbors doubts regarding the seriousness of the situation, he consents to assist them. Lisa, who has never consumed alcohol, is filled with dread, but Kieran offers to remain sober that evening, believing he is the only one capable of maintaining order. Subsequently, Lisa takes a drink and begins to ridicule her friends. After consuming Paddy's homemade concoction, she becomes thoroughly inebriated. The doctor collects her blood, which the group uses to nourish a newborn creature, only for it to perish almost instantly. The group deduces that the beverage must possess a high potency to yield results. Meanwhile, the police hurry to the church where the island's inhabitants have congregated. Kieran proposes a celebration in honor of Lisa, prompting everyone to enthusiastically make their way to the bar. As the islanders revel, Kieran and his team inventory their available weapons, which consist of a nail gun, a toy gun devoid of ammunition, a flare gun, and a water gun that Brian intends to fill with gasoline to convert into a makeshift flamethrower. Later, the bartender resumes his work, serving drinks to the patrons. The islanders are enjoying themselves, while Lisa and Kieran remain in the car, vigilant of their surroundings as rain pours down. In a tipsy state, Lisa confesses her feelings for Kieran, but he is unaccustomed to receiving such admissions while sober and requests to defer the discussion until the following morning. Meanwhile, the doctor steps outside and Kieran shares a laugh over anecdotes concerning his late wife. Her departure was not a tragedy for him. At that moment, the doctor notices the beach swarming with small creatures, one of which attaches itself to his face. His scream reaches Kieran and Lisa, prompting them to rush to his assistance. While Lisa flings the creatures away, Kieran manages to free the doctor, but a massive male alien suddenly emerges from behind the house and consumes the doctor. Kieran and Lisa take refuge in the car, only for the squid to seize it and attempt to dislodge them. The police siren suddenly blares, causing the creature to release its grip on the car. Brian opens the doors to investigate the commotion, while Kieran and Lisa successfully leap into the building. Brian instructs Smith to ignite the candle attached to the gasoline-filled gun, but Smith struggles with the task. The man rushes outside, aiming to set the monster ablaze, yet the candle extinguishes due to the rain. Kieran narrowly saves Brian from danger. At this moment, Brian recalls the necessity of changing the barrels, as the alcohol supply is dwindling. As individuals begin to leave, Kieran attempts to dissuade them. Brian accuses Paddy of being responsible for bringing these creatures to the island. A scuffle ensues, during which a drunken Smith steps outside to capture images of the monster. The creature senses the scientist with its tentacles and hurls him away. Kieran commands everyone to retreat upstairs. The group observes as the monster demolishes the wall in an attempt to escape, while the baby creatures invade the bar. Kieran successfully secures the stairwell doors, but he now faces the need to reveal the truth. Meanwhile, the male creature begins to batter the door. Patty reminds them that the female has marked Kieran, indicating that the monster is likely seeking to mate with him. The group deliberates on how to address the predicament, but they are unarmed and uncertain about how to confront the creature. Lisa recalls the loader. If they can ensnare the creature and prevent its return to the sea, it will inevitably perish. However, they can only access the construction site using a pickup truck, and the keys are located downstairs. Kieran is unable to navigate past the monster, prompting Lisa to volunteer for the task. They provide her with the nail gun, and the inebriated young woman descends to the lower level, where the baby creatures are playing. She manages to deal with a few of them before discovering a bottle of alcohol and the truck keys. Just then, the alien's tentacles burst through the door. Lisa ignites a match, sprints, and stumbles, igniting the bar just as the monster pulls her outside. Nevertheless, Lisa retaliates and manages to escape. The group detects the scent of smoke, prompting Kieran to climb out the window as the monster ascends to the roof. A police officer spots the pickup truck being driven by Lisa. He leaps into the truck bed, and they speed towards the port with the creature in hot pursuit. Upon arriving at the construction site, Kieran strategically leads the monster to a pit filled with fuel barrels and prepares the flare gun. However, the creature seizes Kieran and drags him into the pit. At that moment, Lisa appears in a loader. Unfortunately, she loses control of the vehicle, causing it to crash onto the monster, trapping it beneath. Just as they are about to revel in their triumph, a tentacle ensnares Kieran. The creature prepares to consume him, its mouth wide open, but Kieran retaliates by pouring alcohol from his bottle into it. The monster flings him aside, and Lisa fires the flare gun at it. The creature detonates and is engulfed in flames. As dawn breaks, the islanders awaken, lamenting the end of an enjoyable night. Kieran discards his flask and shares a kiss with Lisa. Meanwhile, a baby alien squid is on the verge of hatching from its egg on the beach. This film is an exceptional indie comedy, unexpectedly touching, humorous, and delightful, featuring outstanding performances, clever humor, and an unexpected romantic storyline.